News!
Okay, we'll start with this. Reigning undisputed super featherweight champion Alicia Baumgardner posted a lengthy response to Adrian Bronier's rhetoric, saying last week, some things were posted about me that went way beyond the usual trolling. I considered saying nothing because I don't feel like I need to defend myself against foolishness and lies like that. After all, this isn't the first time something like this has happened to me or someone I know, but as I've had time to think, I've decided that simply staying silent about what someone recently said about me isn't enough. There are countless women who are verbally attacked every day by the same type of sexually violent lies, shaming, and harassment. Those women need a voice. This is an age-old problem that all of us face. Men using the topic of sex to demean, devalue, and diminish us, to steal from us our voice and make us feel less than the queens we are. While they slap each other on the back for the number of women a man can coax into their bed, they ridicule and look down upon us when we take control of the choices we make with our bodies. We must stand up against this and any other attempt to oppress us every single time it happens.
The thing about what Broner said is that it was very trashy to take it there.
It's not the boxing community's business who Alicia has or hasn't been with. That's none of our business.
I don't care.
Alicia continued, no one has the right to lie about us or shame us for any of our personal choices. All judgment belongs to the God we serve. The most successful CEO to the best athlete to the woman with no home who struggles to meet her needs in the toughest of places. We are your mothers. We are your sisters. We are your daughters. And we all have value and deserve your respect. To all women, what you've done or haven't done with your personal life belongs to you. You alone decide how you live your life. Let no man's words cause you any pain or shame. Keep living, thriving, and striving to be best for you. After all that we've endured in this world, we owe that to our foremothers, each other, and ourselves. We are all more than conquerors.
This could easily turn into an equality debate or a red pill debate, but I'm not even interested in that aspect of it. That's not what grabbed my attention.
That's not what annoyed me about what Adrian Broner did. What annoyed me about Adrian Broner's rhetoric is that this is boxing. This is not the Shade Room. This is not Vlad TV. It's not World Star.
There are any number of rumors circulating in the sport of boxing, but they pertain to boxing.
It's in relation to boxing, not this woman's bedroom. I don't care what's happening in her bedroom, and frankly, you shouldn't either.
She's not your woman.
Seems to me that he wanted to take shots at her, but he couldn't think of anything else to say.
Why did he want to take shots at her?
Because she was training with Bill Haney.
She can't train with Bill Haney?
Alicia continued, March is dedicated to women, but we should be celebrated, protected, and respected every month. So I promise to all of you, I will never be silent again. I've got a lot more to say and a lot more to do to help address just a little bit of the harassment and oppression that so many women face in this world. So stay tuned, and God bless.
This is not a red pill moment on Ring IQ.
What annoyed me about it is how trashy Adrian Broner is. He's one of these embarrassing individuals, embarrassing people that looks to embarrass others.
And what the situation devolves into when a piece of trash like Adrian is left to his own devices.
At his very best, in his heyday, he was a wannabe Mayweather.
Then he was a wannabe rapper.
Now you're a wannabe gossip columnist, spreading gossip about who this female fighter may or may not have fucked.
Who cares?
Because she's training with Bill Haney, you're in your tits about it? Is she not allowed to train alongside Bill Haney? Whatever beef you have with Bill is between you and Bill. Why are you dragging her into it?
You want that she should have to run it by you first? Who she trains with?
Adrian is a stereotype. A walking, talking stereotype, and not a good one.
He's a cliche.
A substance abuser, a train wreck, a joke that isn't funny.
I never found his shenanigans endearing.
These shenanigans least of all. It seems to me that he's got a problem with Bill, but there's only so much he could say about Bill, so he chose to go after somebody else instead.
This broad.
What do you care who she's fucked or who she hasn't fucked? She didn't fuck you, right?
Maybe that's what he's mad about.
It's just another childish display from what's supposed to be a grown man. The bar is set so low for him and people like him.
Grow up.
Do you think it's some kind of a revelation to me or anybody else that Alicia Baumgardner's had sex before? Or that she might have had more than one sexual partner? Assuming what he said is true. For argument's sake, let's say that it is.
Who fucking cares?
It's not the equality thing, it's how childish it is. That anyone would celebrate and egg on this infantile behavior.
Birds of a feather.
Trash on trash. Adrian Broner has long been a dysfunctional and trashy individual with his own problems that he doesn't need to worry about Alicia or what she's doing or what she's not doing. Her sexual proclivities are no more his business than his child support is hers.
What it really is.
Dysfunctional people like Adrian Broner spend a lot of time trying to prove that everybody is as dysfunctional as they are, as if that's any solution to their own problems.
Doesn't even mean it's true.
But that's what they do. Embarrassing people like to embarrass people. Hurt people like to hurt people. Adrian has only ever really hurt himself.
I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish with any of this.
You look stupid. You sound stupid.
Irrespective of who she's fucked and who she hasn't fucked, you're still a loser.
Loser!
Men's heavyweight news with his former champion and Hall of Fame inductee Froch's assessment of Tyson Fury going into the Alexander Usyk fight. He says he's been knocked down 5 times in recent years. When you're hitting the floor and getting hit on the chin and not being as busy as you used to be, that means you're past your best and you're on the decline and you're on the slide. He's saying this in reference to Tyson Fury. He's saying this going into the Usyk fight. Is it possible that Fury's on the slide?
Usyk is a year older, isn't he?
But he's not the one that people are saying might be in decline. They're saying this in reference to Tyson Fury because it is true. In recent years, he's been knocked down 5 times. 4 times at the hands of Deontay Wilder and once more recently, late last year, at the hands of Francis Ngannou.
It's an intangible.
Slippage in reference to Tyson Fury or anybody else ahead of a fight. It's an intangible. It's something you don't really know, a factor. You're not quite sure how big a factor it is, but it is something you factor in. It's something you think about.
It's an intangible.
Fury being in decline in spite of being a year or a year and a half younger than Alexander Usyk, it's not the craziest thing I've ever heard.
But I don't want to overemphasize it either, overstate it, because whether Fury is in decline or he isn't in decline, what you're seeing is what you're seeing. And what you're seeing isn't new.
The anchor for Carl Froch's argument is that in recent years, Tyson Fury's been decked several times. But that's not something that's isolated to recent years. That's not something that just all of a sudden started happening. He was knocked down early in his career by Nevin Pajcik.
Later on by Steve Cunningham.
It's not something that all of a sudden just started happening. So if you come to the conclusion that based on recent knockdowns, Tyson Fury's in decline, how do you explain him being knocked down all those years before?
Was he in decline then?
How I explain it, how I wrap my mind around it is, it doesn't actually matter if Tyson Fury is or isn't in decline, though he very well could be.
He might.
But even if he isn't, what if I told you that I don't think he's a better boxer than Alexander Usyk is anyway? I don't think he ever was a better boxer than Alexander Usyk. I don't think he does anything better in terms of fight mechanics, nuts and bolts boxing. He doesn't have a better jab. He doesn't move better.
He never did.
Time his punches better, pick his punches better, get his punches off better.
I don't think he ever was a better boxer than Alexander Usyk, whether he's in decline or not.
And he could be, though even if he isn't, to me, that's saying that the best version of Tyson Fury still isn't better than Alexander Usyk.
He never was.
He was always a big man, a very big man who moved well for a big man against slow opponents. Slower opponents than Alexander Usyk who are not as coordinated, not as light on their feet.
Not as fast.
You look fast next to the lumbering lummoxes. You can outmaneuver them. I don't think you could outmaneuver him at your very best.
Why?
You weren't too fast to get out of the way of Nevin Pajcik. You weren't too fast to get out of the way of Steve Cunningham, and those fights were years ago. They still dropped you.
Your defense wasn't so good that you could get out of the way of them without hitting the deck.
And those fights were years ago. What, was he in decline years ago? No, I don't think he was.
Even if he might be now.
He wasn't then, but the same thing was going on. The exact same thing was happening. So when I think about him now, and I think about Usyk, the most that people can tell me about Alexander Usyk is that he should have been knocked out in the Daniel Dubois fight over what was a borderline shot and a split-second call by the ref that Usyk has no power over.
It's not Usyk's call to make, and it was never Usyk's call to make.
The ref made it, and he made that call in a split second. But because of what happened, there are some people that feel that Usyk should have lost.
That's cool. Tyson Fury should have lost to John McDermott.
There are some people that feel that Usyk was faking it.
That's cool. I think Tyson Fury was faking mental health issues to get out of the Klitschko fight.
That based on Daniel Dubois' success in that fight, that Tyson Fury might so elect to go to Usyk's body, that Alexander Usyk doesn't like it to the body.
Who does?
And if he does, he may succeed where Daniel Dubois failed.
Because Tyson Fury's a body puncher?
You guys don't pay attention. Have you seen this guy? Have you seen how gangly he is and how the weight is distributed throughout his body? I don't get the sense that Tyson Fury is going to take an offensive approach, aggressive approach, like he did with Deontay Wilder in their last two fights, because you'll notice that he's slimmed down. He's fit and trim.
I don't think it's his plan to march forward and walk through Alexander Usyk. I think he wants to box him up, move around. And in order to do that, he had to shed the weight. He had to shed the excess.
Doesn't want to be carrying around all that weight while he's moving lateral, using the ring, staying on the perimeter, trying to set traps.
No.
And what they're saying is that because Daniel had success going to Usyk's body, even if it was short-lived success, Tyson Fury might employ that strategy, but Tyson Fury is a lot more gangly than Daniel Dubois. He's got those long arms.
They don't make for short hooks.
They don't make for tight uppercuts. There's a gif out there of Tyson Fury uppercutting himself to the face.
It's funny, but why do you think that happens?
It's because of those long arms. It's because Tyson Fury is a particularly gangly fighter. He's got gangly physical dimensions. Those long arms, those long forearms, they don't make for tight hooks. They don't make for tight body shots.
It's not saying he never threw a body shot, but Tyson Fury's not really a body puncher.
He's not known as a body puncher. Characteristically, he doesn't characteristically go to the body, and against the shorter, stumpier fighter and a moving target,
He's gonna go to the body?
he can try, and he might get himself countered with a counter hook or countered with a counter uppercut.
Go ahead.
I feel like if anything's being overstated going into the Usyk versus Fury fight, that's what's being overstated. The minimal success that Daniel had in his fight with Usyk.
You understand that Daniel had plenty of time to build on that success, right? That he could have kept going to the body.
I don't even consider it a body shot. I saw the fight. It was a borderline shot that landed on the cup, below the belt line.
Yeah.
But Daniel had plenty of time to build on that success, to keep going there and keep targeting his midsection. In the end, he didn't. Anthony Joshua landed a good body shot on Usyk.
Usyk took it.
And I happen to think Anthony's a much stronger puncher than Tyson Fury. Much stronger. That's why Valine went the distance with Fury, where he couldn't with Anthony Joshua. That's why Ngannou went the distance with Fury, where he couldn't with Joshua, because Joshua is a much stronger puncher. And Usyk took Joshua's punches.
I think he can take Fury's.
If one or some get in, you have to remember this is a guy who's light on his feet and he's a moving target. He's mitigating. The whole time he's mitigating what punches get in.
And setting a pace that most other boxers can't keep up with.
It's not Usyk's power or just his power that wears guys out. It's exhaustion.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
That in spite of what Froch is saying, that Fury may be in decline. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. But even if he isn't, I still think Usyk beats him, because Usyk is a better boxer, and he was always a better boxer. That the very best version of Tyson Fury still isn't better than Usyk.
And he never was.
That's without the intangibles. With the intangibles, potential slippage, substance abuse, because Tyson Fury is a drug addict. He does have a cocaine addiction, and everybody knows it. That he's not a consummate professional. That he doesn't take care of himself.
I don't even think he wants this fight. I don't think he's ever wanted this fight.
Without the intangibles, I have Usyk winning, because he's better. With the intangibles,
I still have him winning.
Fury looks fast with slow guys.
This guy ain't slow.
I don't think Tyson Fury likes boxing southpaws too much either. Look at how he looked with Valine.
I think Usyk beats him.
World Boxing Council's president, Mauricio Suleiman, has declared that he wants to trial a new judging system with 6 judges for Fury versus Usyk on May 18th. Suleiman said he's distributed an emergency petition to the other sanctioning bodies, plus all parties involved in the undisputed fight, to try and make it happen. But what about that as an emergency? And what makes you think that you can use this occasion as your own personal petri dish for what is your experiment? Experimenting with 6 judges. We have enough trouble trying to get 3 judges to get a scorecard right. You want to add more judges? How's that supposed to make it better?
We don't need 6 judges, just 3 good ones.
An emergency confab. What about this situation is an emergency?
They don't have the power to do this without everybody else's approval.
The World Boxing Council is just one of 4 sanctioning bodies. 1, of 4. This ain't your party. This ain't your rodeo. You don't call the shots.
If you want to do this and try it out, you should do it on a smaller scale, not a big one.
The way experimental drugs are first tested on lab rats, lab mice. Trial runs on a smaller scale before human trials with experimental drugs begin. The same should apply here. You don't go experimenting with the first undisputed title fight at heavyweight we'll have seen in the last 2 decades.
Fuck off.
Something else going on there. I don't trust the World Boxing Council, and I don't think Usyk, Aegis Klimas, and his entire team should trust them either, because he's not the WBC champion. Tyson Fury is, and all of this can be interpreted as a last-ditch effort.
A last layer of protection.
Why would they be protecting him? Why would they be protecting Tyson Fury? Maybe they feel that they get more money and it's better for them if Fury stays champion, or maybe it's because Fury's paying them. Put simply, maybe it's because Fury's bribing them to protect him.
How would more judges protect him?
More judges, more funny-looking scorecards, more room for human error, as there would be more humans involved.
I don't trust them.
The saving grace is that in spite of the WBC's kooky ideas, they are just one of 4 major sanctioning bodies. All the major sanctioning bodies are involved, and the WBC is no more important than they are. They're not the ones in control.
You're not paying for any of this to happen. You're just invited to the party. Shut up and sit down.
Emergency meeting. What's the emergency? What's time sensitive about this situation? And the most that I can deduce is that Fury is running out of time. His time as champion may be coming to an end, and they mean to preserve it.
I don't put it past them.
A last line of defense for the Gypsy King. The Gypsy King that I think is on borrowed time. Intangibles or no intangibles? I think Usyk beats him. I think Usyk might stop him.
Usyk's not a power guy, though. Tyson Fury took hard shots from stronger punches than Alexander Usyk.
It's not all about the power. It's not all about the strength and the punch. It's the pace that Usyk sets.
Trying to keep up with him.
It's not just the punches that get in for Alexander Usyk. It's the effort that you exert, the energy that you expel, trying to keep up with and keep on this guy while he's working around you. He sets a pace that wears a big man out.
When's the last time Tyson Fury was pushed under the hot lights? When's the last time he was in a real fight?
The Ngannou fight turned out to be a real fight, a real contest where it was not supposed to, and that was against a novice who never had a professional boxing match.
It's the only boxing match Fury's had in the last 12 months.
He didn't do nothing most of last year. That segue from Francis Ngannou to Alexander Usyk.
Looking how Fury looked?
Oh, I can see why it's an emergency. I can see what the emergency is for the World Boxing Council. This is time sensitive, and time is of the essence. May is not that far away.
And you think Usyk stops this guy?
Exhaustion in tandem with accurate punching is what I think stops that guy.
All I can tell you is what I think, and that's what I think.